Oh, the Auburn Tigers
will never be scared of Alabama.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Jake Crain of Crain & Company hanging out with us on today's edition of the show. We'll give you our picks for the Iron Bowl, as well as what this game could mean. But Jake, there's been so much talk, smack talk, and more about this Iron Bowl, and it's just fascinating because there's two different sides to this. Auburn, ironically, feels really good about it, and it almost feels like the Alabama side of it is dreading this game, despite probably definitely having the more talented team. But it's just one team feels like they're trending up, one team feels like they're trending down. What does Auburn need to do to capitalize on this?
Well, it's funny, and I know we're going to talk about the freshmen saying that you got to tune out the noise. Like you have got to have the best week of preparation that you have ever had at Auburn. If you really want to go out there and do it, you win this game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's just the truth of the matter. And Auburn's going to need to play incredibly clean.
Yeah.
One of the most alpha things to do, one of the most dog-in-you things to do is to be able to control your emotion enough. We used to call it controlled aggression. It's like me on the golf course when I get on the tee box. Yeah, I want to go in there and smash the ball, but I got to control myself enough, and it doesn't work out a lot. I actually hope Auburn can do better than me off the tee box. But it takes being a man to prepare the right way and understand that, yes, it is Alabama. Yes, it is the Iron Bowl. This is the game that means the most and will always mean the most. But in order to put yourself in the best position to win, yeah, you want to be fired up. Yeah, you want to be excited, but you've got to play clean. You've got to do the little things right. Oscar Chapman's got to punt the ball well. It's just going through the fundamental things, having the best inside drill you can that week, having the best perimeter drill, 7-on-7, win the walkthroughs, win the meetings. Everybody is locked in and moving in one direction because it's amazing what 1 week can do to an 18 to 22-year-old in this sport. So handle your business. The talk is fine, but go out there and handle your business with your helmet and your shoulder pads. Once that ball snapped, let that do the talking between the whistle. Let them fall apart. Deep down, they want to. Deep down, they want to so bad, Zach. You can tell the culture has shifted there. Whether it's Jalen Milroe pretending to tackle somebody on the sideline, right? Whether it's guys not being able to stop the run or having that Bama swag that we've become so used to. Let them make the mistakes, and you'll put yourself in a position to win the football game.
Yeah, I mean, all the pressure is on Alabama in this situation. That's why I love the smack talk by these freshmen that happened earlier in the week, is because let's put as much pressure on Alabama as possible, because it used to seem like Bama wanted pressure. I don't think this Alabama team is going to respond to pressure as much as Nick Saban coached teams.
Yeah, and I think I've always said that whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, I would always ask myself before I would talk to the media, is what I'm about to say going to help or hurt my team? And in most cases, when you come out and talk like that, it gives the other team fuel. Nobody needs more fuel in this game. So I think it's kind of a net neutral, because if you've ever played the sport, you realize once that ball is snapped, nobody's running around thinking, man, I can't believe DeMarcus Riddick said that. Nobody's running down a running back on the backside or running the J as the backside safety thinking I'm going to hit this guy extra hard because of what he said. What it does, bulletin board material, is I go back to preparation. It makes you prep harder. But when I look at this Bama team, Auburn's got nothing to lose. Right? Nobody at Alabama was, looking at Auburn this week, and now they're like, oh man, DeMarcus Riddick said that. We better win this game. There just seems to be some deflation over there. So I think it's more of a net neutral. What I do like about it is that you can tell the young guys on Auburn are different, not just because of what they say, but how they play. And we've said this for multiple weeks, and it finally culminated in a win. Not that the older guys didn't help or anything like that. I want to give Payton Thorne his flowers. I've been negative about him for good reason. One game doesn't change my opinion of a career. Now, this one, if there was ever one, this one coming up could be possibly. Right. But they back it up by the way they play. So I like that they're not afraid. I think it is showing you a new wave of Auburn player that views Auburn as the bully, that views Auburn as the big dog, not somebody that needs hope and magic to win a game.
So the comments about Ryan Williams are interesting, and it seems personal, which is fine. Might be good. I don't know. But if you're Auburn, how do you stop Milroe and Ryan Williams? Because I love Jay Crawford and Kayan Lee. I don't think you can shut down Ryan Williams was just one of those guys and put him on an island. So if you're Auburn, how do you stop this offense?
You hit him right in the face early. If you want to stop Ryan Williams, you stop Jalen Milroe. Somebody's got to give him the ball. You get him in third and you stop the run. You do what Oklahoma did. Oklahoma executed what they wanted to do perfectly.
Yeah.
You turn Jalen Milroe into a pocket passer, and you see what happens. First half of the Georgia game, he was great from the pocket. Really, outside of that, you could say the Wisconsin game, I guess. That's just really not who he is. They've had to shrink the playbook a little bit to fit him. And if you stop that quarterback run, which LSU couldn't do, that's why they ran the checkup, and you get him in third and passing, well, now I go 2-man. And if I'm running 2-man, which means man underneath, and you have 2 high safeties, you give them halves, but we always used to shade to your best guy. If it's 3rd and 9 and I'm the safety that's on, and Alabama comes out and doubles 2-by-2, and I'm the safety to Ryan Williams' side, we're probably going to end up bracketing Ryan Williams. So if you stop one, you stop the other, because Alabama's going to test your mettle early. They're going to see if you can stop the quarterback run and then go from there. Against Oklahoma, they had no answer. And Oklahoma's defense is really good, but you got to hit them and you got to let them know. When it comes to Ryan Williams, look, it's his life. It's never a bad business decision to go to Alabama to play football. I think everybody, even in this audience, could agree from a business standpoint. But you're an Auburn legacy, man. Say what you want about Brian Harsin recruiting. You turned your back on the family. And what happens when you turn your back on the family? Well, you look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. So I think it is personal to these young guys. I think some things were said in the recruiting process that never came to fruition. And again, you've got alpha males that are Ryan Williams is like 15 years old, which he's an incredible player. Don't
He's
get it
unbelievable.
twisted. He's an
so
unbelievable player. I wish he was at Auburn.
Me too.
But I think there is a little extra edge of who is the alpha dog and who really made the right decision.
Yeah. What could this win mean for the Auburn Tigers? It could mean a lot for Auburn. Could also mean a loss could also mean more for Alabama. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the best place to buy tickets for whatever event you need tickets for. Football, basketball, baseball, the concerts, the theater, comedy shows. It doesn't matter what it is. Game Time has you covered. They've got Game Time picks, which makes, the whole curation process. There's a bunch of tickets to look at. They give you the ones with the best deals, as well as the view from your seats. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKDOWNCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKDOWNCollege for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's Game Time. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends at Home Field Apparel. Home Field Apparel has some of the coolest designs and graphics made on any sort of apparel you could ask for. Of course, they have all colleges, but if you're watching this, I assume you want Auburn swag, which makes sense. They've got the cool vintage hobby. They've got the old school, like Bo Jackson style baseball shirts. They've got everything. They've got cool hats as well. All at homefieldapparel.com. And right now, use promo code WarEagle24 to get that total knocked down a little bit. Hey, it's time to start buying stuff for Christmas. And for the Auburn fan in your life, check out homefieldapparel.com and use promo code WarEagle24 to save on some of that Christmas shopping. Thank you to Home Field for sponsoring today's show. Jake Crain of Crain & Company joining us. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. The everydayers have heard me say this a few times, but I want to hear your thoughts on this, Jake. Obviously, an Iron Bowl win would mean so much. It means so much for Auburn. But I think an Alabama Iron Bowl loss could be devastating to that program. Auburn gets to net positive with a win, don't get me wrong, but the damage it would do to Alabama if they lost at home to Auburn, I think people want to burn stuff down in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, look, and I don't want to lessen the importance of the Iron Bowl for Auburn, but that's why that
100%.
win last week was so huge, because you finally got one that you can point to in recruiting and say, here's some proof of concept for you. You're going to have a week of good press for Auburn at such a crucial time because the signing day is now in December. Mm-hmm. So Auburn got that one that everybody was waiting on. Not that this is a successful season. This has not been a successful season, but that doesn't mean some good can't come from it. Just look at the positive reaction in recruiting after Auburn beat A&M at home like that, a ranked A&M team at home like that. Imagine the potent ability of Auburn winning the Iron Bowl at Alabama. But Zach, I think you're exactly right. I think Alabama has more to lose than Auburn has the game, for the simple fact of Alabama fans are kind of in limbo right now. I said all during the offseason, when everybody's talking about, well, Kalen DeBoer did this at Washington, he did this at Mount Union, he did this, he got an A+ on a 7th grade science project. The Alabama fans don't care about that, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Do you think any Alabama fan right now is like, well, we got blasted by Oklahoma, we're not going to make the college football playoff, but hey, he went 62-11 at Washington. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it should work. So they're kind of in limbo on him. You've already upset the fan base. You already got Legend calling into Feinbaum, going on this crying diatribe and this, that, and the other. They're already turning the page to basketball and hoping Nate Oates can save them. But if you want to see an absolute meltdown, if you want to see rats fleeing a sinking ship by the mass numbers, lose to Auburn in your first game at home. And if you're Hugh Freeze, you've got to, because this is the first chapter, right? All the stuff in the past, last year, the 4th and 31, all that stuff, even when Harsin was here, the Bryce Young drive of 99 yards to go win the game, that can all just be brushed away and forgotten if you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And if Hugh Freeze, he can hurt Alabama deeply. Like, it's one thing to get a paper cut. It's another thing to get hit with a samurai sword. Alabama loses this one to Auburn at home. In recruiting, you're already going to start seeing some guys leak away from Bama. It's happening. There's one big one that's going to happen here in about 4 days. And you're seeing Auburn. All these got more RPMs than the Fast and the Furious 8 coming in here lately. But this one can hurt them deeply and for a while. You want to cause distrust. What do we see in The Art of War? Like he says, you want to cause distrust and panic and pandemonium within your enemy. From the inside core, from the most radical and loyal supporters, go win this one and watch the absolute meltdown that takes place. I actually think, Zach, actually believe that if Auburn goes and beats Alabama, that Kalen DeBoer is going to be on the hot seat in year 2. I really firmly believe that.
And we all kind of predicted this when he was hired. It's like, if he doesn't win a natty within 2 years, they're going to be on him, because that's the guy. That's what happens when you follow the greatest college football coach of all time. It just, I'm a little shocked at their current situation. I thought they were a 10-2 football team. I thought the issues were going to happen long-term with the inability to sustain talent. I thought he'd be able to win with Saban's players, and him already having 3 losses, and it looks like they're going to miss the playoffs.
Well, Zach, that's another thing. Like, I after the Vanderbilt game, you had some of these Alabama fans that are like, well, Nick Saban lost to Law Monroe in year 1. Nick Saban had the Lollipop Guild that he inherited. He had a bunch of insurance salesmen and PE teachers. Kalen DeBoer, some guys left, but you got handed a Lambo. You were born. You're a senator's kid. You were born on third base. So if you can't win it with 75% of the greatest the recruiting runs, we know this better than anybody. The recruiting runs that Alabama went on were incredible. Not only that, you got Caden Proctor back from Iowa. If you can't do it with this group, then I don't know, dog.
Yeah,
like, I don't know
if
if it gets
going to
better.
get easier for DeBoer. I have a hard time seeing that. That's
I mean,
a weird
in the
argument
long run,
to take.
it might. I don't know. This is a new experiment. It's like putting liquid paper on a bee. In that case, it died. We'll see what happens with this one. But I don't know, man. Like, you were handed, and you get the Vanderbilt loss killed you. It just killed you because they really are a 10-2 team. That's really what they're built like. But that Vanderbilt loss, giving you that third loss after what happened against Oklahoma on the road, it's I don't know. It's the most turmoil that we have seen. If you were born in 2004, 5,
okay,
so you were what, 3 when Nick Saban said this is probably the most turmoil you've ever seen at Bama. Like, it used to always be like this. When I grew up, Zach, you're about my age. It was always like, it was just, oh God, just disaster. So it's, that's why I was like, dude, I would not follow Nick Saban. I sat here and said it, and you had some people that are like, well, it takes guts to follow him. Yeah, but it takes brains not to.
Yeah. Do you think Hugh Freeze has I mean, we want these guys to smell blood, and I think these freshmen do. You think Hugh Freeze smells blood?
Yeah, I think he does, but his job isn't to smell the blood. And I thought Kirby Smart had a great answer to this about, Brent Key last year, the Georgia Tech head coach, said that there's nothing I hate more in the world than Georgia. I don't hate anything except one thing, it's Georgia football. And Kirby said, listen, this is an emotional game, but my job is not to get emotional. My job is to prepare my team, and Hugh will do this in the best way possible to get them ready to play. And half of that, look, we always talk about, well, are they going to get up for this game? It's Law Monroe. Are they going to get up for this game? You can get 2 up for a game. If you are an Auburn player and you're listening to this, which I know some of them do, and if you're an Auburn coach and you're listening to this, which I know some of them do not do stupid things. Do not hit people late. If they are out of bounds, do not touch them. If you are running an interception back or that Jarquez breaks one, do not hit somebody behind the play because they're open. That's what worries me about this smelling blood thing. And I don't want to take away a guy's stinger. Believe me, I've cussed out more referees and given pregame speeches. You wouldn't believe some of the adjectives that I've used to describe the other team. So I'm maybe hypocritical saying this, but don't beat them with organization. Beat them with discipline, and they will fall apart. This is a new day to Alabama. Don't hit people behind the play. Don't hit people out of bounds. Do not give them extra chances. We hear it in baseball all the time. Just give them 27 outs. Don't give them 28 outs. Don't give them 29 outs. Don't give them 30 outs. If you give them 27 outs, you'll have a chance to win the game.
Yep. Yeah, and I think Auburn's in that situation for sure. Picks, predictions, that's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel's America's #1 sports book. And right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. And the FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, the college football, the college basketball games, all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bet. So just visit FanDuel.com to join today. And once again, you can get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's at FanDuel.com. Jake Crain of Crain & Company. The Iron Bowl this weekend. As we record this, the line's 11.5. I can't believe I'm doing this. I think Auburn wins the Iron Bowl.
All right, let me tell you what I'm going to do, Zach. I'm a team guy.
Okay.
All right, I'm a team guy. I'm willing to come back on my shield, all right, or on 2 legs. I picked Auburn to beat Vanderbilt. Did not work out on this show. Picked them to beat Vanderbilt. Did not work out well.
I did too. I was wrong there.
I picked them to lose to A&M. Worked out well.
I did that
So here's
too.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Bama. I'm going to pick Bama in a massive blowout. Massive blowout. Auburn's got no chance, Zach. They got no chance. And again, obviously, I'm being facetious, but look, I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
Me too.
I'm going to take Alabama just to reverse jinx it, and I'll fall on the sword for this one. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I'm excited for the program. I'm excited for them to get over that hump. It's the Iron Bowl, so there's pressure on everybody, but Auburn's playing with a little bit more house money than Alabama is. So I'm just excited to see the guys go out there, run around, and see what they can do at a place. Boo them. I hope the fans boo them. I hope they cuss them. I hope it is an absolute toxic fest, because it's one thing to get Jordan Hare rocking or 80,000 people excited. It's another thing to shut 90,000 people up. That just hits different.
It does hit different. Do you think the game plan is Jarquez Hunter, play action?
What I think is this, you don't win this one, you're not bowl eligible. I think you run Payton, Thorne, and Jarquez Hunter as much as it takes, and you give Cam Cole, you do exactly what you did against A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And do not forget about Rivaldo Fairweather. Please.
Sneaky good game against A&M.
Yeah, do not forget about Rivaldo Fairweather. To me, it's Jarquez, Payton, Jarquez, Cam Coleman deep, Rivaldo in the seam, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I think sprinkling some KLS in there. They've got
stud NFL player.
I think he is too, Jake.
He's an NFL
I think
player.
he is too.
He's an NFL player.
I hate that. I mean, he's having one of the best receiver seasons for an Auburn player ever.
Zach, you can play in college for 30 years now. Can he just come back again?
Yeah, can't you just scream COVID year and there's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he looked a little sick early last week. I think we ought to put in the application.
That'd be awesome if he could find a way to come back. But no, I'm with you. He's got to think that he can go to the NFL. And I think he can. I think he can. Go get his money. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking 27-24, Jake.
Man, that sounds about right. Here's where I'm at. Like, obviously, if Auburn were to lose, keeping it close is better, right? It's a better look. I just don't know if I can handle us blowing another Iron Bowl, like, just emotionally. I feel like a lot. The last
I
just look, if we're gonna lose, can they just lead for like a touchdown the whole game? Like, can we just, obviously, the outcome that I want. I don't know, man. It's just we'll see. That's why they play the game. Just don't hit anybody late. Please, just don't let it be because Auburn does something stupid. That's all I'm at. Or like drop a punt or something like that. Just please.
Yeah, just play sound football. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Jake Crain, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
It's easy, man. Just Google Crain and Company, CRAIN and Company. It's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Roku, YouTube, Daily Wire Plus, everywhere. We're breaking it down, man. We got a great breakdown of the Iron Bowl as well. If you want to check that out, again, if you like this show, you're probably gonna like ours. Yeah. Hey, be sure to like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.